Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Starlog. This is edition number 3. Can't believe it's been 3 already. You might notice that next to me is not Kaori, it's actually Mr. Happy.
But I mean,
that was a good one. That was a good impression.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. So, just in case people don't know who you are, tell everyone about yourself.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on here. I am a Twitch broadcaster and a YouTube content creator. I've been broadcasting on Twitch, partnered for 2 years now. Just hit 2 years yesterday, actually.
Congratulations.
Thank you. YouTube about 3 years at this point, and I like to focus mostly on RPGs.
Yeah.
Very rarely go outside of the genre, which is why I was excited that I get to be here today.
Yeah.
Some fun little facts on the screen right now for some people. My first RPG was Super Mario RPG back on the Super Nintendo.
Pretty good start.
And like a true RPG nerd, I've played every single-player Final Fantasy game that's ever come out.
Well, you're in the right place, and you're here on the right day because we're gonna get into some action RPG gameplay with Star Ocean, Integrity, and Faithlessness. But have you ever played any of the Star Oceans before?
So I grew up playing a lot of RPGs. A lot of them were also MMOs. So I haven't played through from start to finish a Star Ocean game. I've played bits and pieces, mostly at friends' houses. Like they'll be like, "Oh, I'm stuck on this mission. Yeah, I'll give it a shot." So I've never played one all the way through. This will be the first one I've played all the way through, which is why I'm excited for today because I haven't really gotten to see too much gameplay just being busy over the past few months. So I hope I get to see some of that today.
Yeah, and I know you watched some of the Star Logs and you saw like the battle, you saw some of the story. Today is all about the gameplay, other than those two things. So you came on the right day. So we actually have a new trailer for everyone to see. Let's roll it.
Welcome to Star Ocean, Integrity and Faithlessness. During your adventure, you will spend time on Fakreed 4, a wild and untamed planet. From bustling cities to the harsh northern territory of Soma, Fakreed 4 is full of life and possibilities. Throughout your journey, you'll want to collect resources from harvest and mining spots. These resources will be essential to your adventure. Use these resources to craft and upgrade items and equipment to better explore the beautiful and deadly terrain. Eventually, you will be able to unlock special skills to assist you in all manners of life in the galaxy, including enhancements to harvesting and item creation, scientific research, and this. These special skills will help your party truly unlock everything Star Ocean has to offer. Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness features near-endless adventure with an extensive side quest system. Explore treacherous dungeons in search of treasure or deadly monsters, and even meet some familiar faces on the way. Or take a break from exploring and get to know your party members through the private action system. Simply walk into the PA circle to begin interacting one-on-one with your teammates. However you choose to play, you're sure to have a thrilling time in Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness. Good luck and safe travels.
Did you see that? See that thumbs up from Fidel at the end? Get that emote, man. So did that answer some of your questions?
Yeah, it gave me a better idea of what to expect when it came to Star Ocean, but with every answer comes more questions. So I kind of want to dig into a lot of the things that we saw there.
Yeah, we can, and let's do that. So we'll welcome back our good friend Adam from QA, our resident expert on all things Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness. Welcome back, Adam. How are you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me back, and welcome, Mr. Happy.
Yeah.
Glad to have
Thank
you
you.
along.
Thank you.
I will do my best to assist in going through everything that we saw through that video.
Awesome, because I have a lot of questions. So I said earlier that I like to play MMOs, but I'm no stranger to single-player RPGs at that. It seems like a pretty big world. I like the size of the party. 6 players, definitely my kind of 7. Oh, I saw 6 at once.
Oh, yeah.
6 at once.
So you can
That's
have
what
up to
I meant.
7 characters in battle, but yeah.
Yeah, I only saw 6 at once right there. So what's it called? So with that in mind, it kind of almost looked like a single-player MMO with the scope of the world and the way that the combat was looking. I mean, is there kind of sort of things that are similar there?
I think when you play through it, you can actually see a lot of MMO aspects in the game. It does stand alone as its own single-player RPG, of course, but you can get a lot of the MMO elements within it, both through the battle system and also through the crafting and item creation system. I think it really shines through there.
All right, well, okay, so you brought up crafting, item creation. So I'm someone who is always a little afraid of crafting going into games, either because I'm afraid it might not be entirely useful. So let's talk about the item creation first. I want to know a little bit more about that because we got to see a little bit of that on the trailer right there.
Item creation is actually really well done here, and most of the items, actually all of the items, are useful. Because not only will you be using them in battle or as equipment, but also you can use them to continue crafting further. So nothing goes to waste within this game.
Man, I'm gonna have a lot of items because I'm somewhat of a hoarder.
Okay,
Is the terminology?
I think I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I'll need this for later. I'll just hold on to it, no problem. Will I need it for later?
You will. Even from the beginning of the game, you start unlocking different types of item creation. So from the start, you'll make simple things such as blueberry potions, blackberry potions. In Star Ocean, kind of keeping it old school, you can't just heal your health by touching a save point.
Yeah.
Not like Final Fantasy X or anything past that where you would just heal yourself. You need to use these items.
Yeah, so you gotta hoard those blueberries and blackberries.
Yes, and then
No
you can
problem.
craft them into potions, which are even better than normal blueberries and blackberries, more delicious. And then even from
Now I'm
there-
hungry.
I'm sorry.
I feel like this is the beginning of a new show, RPG Hoarders or something like that.
And speaking of food, you can also craft food, which works very similarly. You'll know Final Fantasy XIV has
yeah.
food that increases your stats, and Star Ocean actually works the same way, where you will eat the food, and it gives you a special benefit for a couple of battles. Maybe for 10 battles, your HP will be increased by 10%, or your attack will be higher. So there's a lot to do with that. And then going even further, once you progress into the game and unlock new crafting specialties, you will get to make items, equipment, and other things that you can use in battle and out of battle.
Now I just need to remember to eat food because I always forget whenever I'm playing MMO. It's like, why have you eaten food? It's like, whoops.
Yeah, it's pretty important to living. And,
Living?
Yeah, I think scientists have mentioned that eating is actually good for you and healthy.
Good for you. Yeah.
And there is no hunger meter in Star Ocean 5, but you definitely do want to make use of that food.
Yeah.
All right, so that's one part of the synthesis system that we were talking about. Item creation is one half, but you also mentioned equipment augmentation.
Yes.
So again, played a ton of RPGs. Let's go classic and just, Materia is a system that I'm familiar with, or Runes or something from other RPGs. Is it like that? Is it just enhancing stats? Is it going to add additional effects? Is it going to do stuff like that?
It can do all of that, actually, and it is quite similar to Materia in that you have a certain amount of slots that you can add effects to. The difference between the Materia system, say in Final Fantasy XIV, and Star Ocean's augmentation system is that you can use any item in-game to augment something else. So you will pick an item, say a sword that you have for Fidel that you want to increase, maybe try and get more attack on it or add an effect to it. You can go through a list of any item that you have in-game, and it will add a different effect depending on the item. And similar to Materia slots, you have a certain amount of augmentations per item. So for maybe a standard item, you have 4 or 5, or maybe even 6 augmentations. So there's lots of possibilities to increase your gear and just deck out your guys so you can beat all the bosses.
And then on top of that, I mean, we were going through it there. I got a few laughs out of it while we were watching it again, but they were going through specialties also, which had a bunch of other things, like I saw botany on there, fishing, some that I couldn't pronounce. Or that
there are a couple with some interesting names.
Yeah, so are those affiliated directly with item creation and equipment augmentation, or are those are those their own things? Really?
So to unlock crafting, you need to unlock the specialty first.
Okay.
And to get the specialty, you complete either side quests or just progressing through the game. Certain events will unlock new specialties.
Okay.
So, and then from there, once you've unlocked the specialty, you can level it up with skill points as you saw in the video.
Yeah.
And then from there, you unlock new recipes.
Okay, cool.
So pretty straightforward, but pretty fun. I think we should go into game and see it.
That's my
That
favorite
would be the
part.
easiest way to show everyone.
That's my
that's what
favorite
everyone
part.
wants to see.
Yeah, everyone wants to see gameplay. Even I'm right here. I want to see gameplay.
So we have a save loaded up. I think starting off with specialties is probably a good idea since we were just talking about that. It is within the skills menu.
All right.
At the bottom, you can go into the specialties menu. Here we have everything unlocked and maxed
Wait,
out.
what one are we over right now?
Emoter. I think you guys saw that. It's a little, I mean, Phil did a little dance. He did a little thumbs up.
Emoter.
The gameplay video.
Emotes are a specialty?
It is a specialty, and as you can see, you can level up your emote skill.
Yes.
So you can become the master emoter.
All right.
Maybe once we get into the field.
Oh yeah,
We'll show
we
these
definitely got to show a few of those.
Just really quick, guys. So everyone watching, while they're playing, ask your questions in chat. I'll take some of the questions and make sure that we can get them answered, okay? There we go.
All right.
So in addition to fun specialties such as emotes and lockpicking, we have more basic ones. Like up at the top, you can see there's the gathering and crafting specialties, fishing, excavation, and harvesting. That will be, as was also in the video, you can see there are gathering points on the map. So you would use those skills, and depending on the level, that changes what items you may get from those points.
Okay, so I'm assuming we have the gathering ones at the top. There's a few more down here. Would you recommend going for those first over like the crafting? Do you need that stuff to even touch the other stuff?
Yes, exactly. Okay. If you level up your compounding to level 8, you're going to have really high level crafting recipes, but you're not going to have the items to be able to make it. So it really helps to get those gathering specialties up first, as well as the ones that are kind of midway down here. That when you kill an enemy, there's a higher chance to drop items. So if you're trying to hoard your items, get everything you can to craft, I would recommend leveling those first, and then going for a good balance between the different trade skills.
I'm a big lockpicker myself, so I'm a bit of a hoodlum in RPGs. I think we all are, though.
This one is important. You can get some really nice items from those lock chests.
All right. Well, okay, so we have the specialties, but we also have the item creation and whatnot. I noticed none of that's here.
No. So this is where you would level up these specialties to be able to unlock the recipes. But if we back out of this menu, we can go down to the creation menu and start off with item creation.
All right.
This is where the 7 base skills are. There is compounding, engineering, smithery, jewel crafting, art crafting, cooking, authoring, and alchemy. So a total of 300 recipes, or more than 300 recipes rather. So there is a lot of room to create any item that you wish. For example, we have grilled fish here if you want to give it a go.
I went to fish just because I wanted to rhyme with wish. I want you to know that.
Well, you did a great job, and plus you're hungry, so we'll grab some fish, get something to eat. This is probably one of the earlier recipes you would get. As you can see, it's once you create it.
That was easy.
We made grilled fish. Looks delicious.
Looks tasty.
It's skill level 1, just takes a couple of store-bought ingredients, so this is something you'd probably get earlier in the game. But once you get further, you would use those harvesting points, the fishing points, to be able to get more rare ingredients to make better food.
All right. I'm noticing that everything here is like a question mark, question mark, question mark. So how do we like actually get the recipe? Like, how do I know what I'm making?
You basically unlock them by doing them. So you can always see the materials that you need, but you don't know what you're going to make the first time you make it. So if you just pick one of the question marks that are highlighted in blue, that means you have all of the items you need, and then if you create it, it will tell you what it is. So we've made a floral broom wand, which is, I believe, a weapon for Miki.
All right.
And now that we've created it once, it appears on the list.
Okay.
So it's kind of trial and error. You collect the items that you want to make whatever you think you can make, and then you make it.
All right, and I have to do 300 of these.
300.
Okay, that's a lot.
Question from chat.
Yes.
DS Lion asks, are you going to be able to use item creation to make incredibly OP items? And if so, are you going to be able to do it early on if you put the time in?
There are custom weapons that you can make through here, as you just saw. The ultimate weapons may not be through this system, but there definitely are. If you put in the effort to find the items to create things, you will be overpowered for that point in the game. So even early on, if you level up to get skill points, if you get the skill points to level up your compounding or your crafting to level 8, you'll have level 8 recipes, and as long as you can find those items, you can create them. And a lot of those items do drop rather commonly from different enemies. Some are rare, but you can still get them
around that same level that you're in, depending on where you are. Yeah, it makes sense.
That's pretty cool. So I also noticed that like these question marks are different, so I'm gonna assume that's because I don't have the tail right here. Okay, so at least it lets you know. It's not like a mystery whether or not you have the ingredients.
Exactly.
Okay, that's perfect.
And say on a second playthrough, you may already know the order of the items, so you can just pick out which item you actually want to make.
It's the kind of thing a strategy guide is good for.
Yes, yes.
All right, so we have item creation. There were 2 other systems that we want to talk about.
Yes.
We have the synthesis and the augmentation.
Let's go to synthesis first, because
Alright.
it is similar to item creation, except this is a little bit more of an RNG machine, as I like to call it. So
I'm very familiar with RNG machines.
synthesis allows you to pick anywhere between 2 and 6 items,
Okay.
and you synthesize them together into something, and that's all you know.
That's something?
Something. You don't know what it's going to be. You can kind of fine-tune it to try and make what you think you want to get, but you'll never know.
All right, well, I see I got 2 options here. Automatic, okay, I guess it just fills it all the way.
Yes.
And then manual, I'm assuming I can do it myself.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, before I do anything, what does all this mean?
So the 6 items were randomly chosen by the computer, but as you can see, the items that you've selected have given a certain quality and impurity level, which is basically you want high quality and low impurities.
Okay.
Kind of common sense.
So this isn't that good, what we have right here.
No, this is average, kind of high on the impurities. So we're gonna try it. Maybe we can go through manual selection
Let's back
and
it up.
pick a couple of items to try and get a high quality and a low impurity. And then as you saw next to that, the result tells you the item type you're gonna make. So you know you might make a weapon, you know you might make some sort of medicine, but you're not sure what it's gonna be.
All right, let's try and get something that's like decent.
Yeah.
So far it doesn't look like I'm off to a good start because I'm getting pretty high impurities here. Let's
Yes.
see. Oh, I guess this is.
See.
That's kind of all right.
Okay.
Let's do something way different. Let's see. Okay, that's not.
There's some.
27 and 9. Yeah, there's a lot of items to go through. So doing this,
I did extensive farming to prepare for this, as you can see.
I can see that. Okay, so I can go through those. Is there any way to quickly go through the items?
I believe left and right on the should
there
go
we go.
page up, page down, so you should be able to go through there a little bit quicker.
All right.
Let's just pick a couple of these items. May actually work relatively well.
Damascus.
Oh, you get metal.
steel.
Yes, there's different gems, these are all crafting materials, so you could use
Yeah.
these in the item creation menu as well.
Oh, okay. So now I get what you mean. Oh, whoa.
That's pretty high.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, I
So
guess.
quality caps out at 50, so 42 is pretty decent.
Oh no, I don't want to change that one. I wonder if do I have 2 of those? I want to get to. Okay, there
Double
we
up
go.
on the blank discs.
Yeah.
Question.
You know what? I'll switch it up. I'll use a high power generator.
Question from the chat.
Sure.
Beltara is asking, does the order matter for synthesis?
The order does not matter. You can pick it in any order, and it will give you the appropriate quality and impurity levels.
All right. Well, we got a quality of 50, impurity of 20.
Not too bad. A machine, so it could be a weapon for maybe Anne or Emerson. Could be a bomb. Could be anything.
Those are 2 wildly different things to make out of a blank disc.
It could
Yeah.
be another blank disc, even.
Oh my god! Please don't be another blank disc. Please.
What do we
don't.
got?
We got a defense breaker.
So
Okay.
we did make a bomb, actually. So this would be used in battle, and as the name implies, it would break the defense of enemies.
That's pretty useful.
So just one of them, and then let's try this again. So you have the same items. We can
Alright.
see if we make the same thing, see if we make something different.
How's this?
A Self-Destructor 3000.
Is
Whoa.
That, is
Like that.
Is that a rubber ducky?
It's a rubber ducky bomb.
I've never seen this.
It's beautiful things like this that you can't predict.
Yes.
It's a rubber ducky bomb
And
with
this
a
is what the
fuse.
synthesis system is all about.
That is cool.
Well, I'm assuming it's not made of rubber. That wouldn't be great for a
Right.
bomb.
No.
You know, but I mean, we could still put it in the bathtub. I'm sure it'll be okay.
It doubles as a bath toy and
Yeah.
a bomb.
Yeah. Very good use. All right, so that's synthesis. We still
Yes.
have one more. We have augmentation.
And this is what we were talking about. After you've created an item, this is the system you would use to enhance the stats of the item. And this would work for equipment, either weapons, armor, or accessories.
All right, cool. I made that wand earlier, so let's see what we got here.
Yes.
Looks like the wand naturally had fog chance on it.
Yes.
So,
on a normal attack.
all right, so what else do we have here? Okay, well,
That is quite the item.
that's fairly useful.
As you can see in the bottom corner, it says augmentations remaining. That would be the total amount of times you can augment this. So you
Okay.
could do this 4 different items to get a bunch of different stats. The factors do cap out at 4 though, so if you have too many, it will either erase them or it just will not add in new ones.
Well, so you said that this was for melee?
Miki,
Miki, my bad.
who is the healer of the group.
Oh, so
So-
this is...
This is actually perfect. Intelligence to help with potency of both her heals and her attacks, and then curative spell potency plus 20%. I don't think we can go wrong here.
Yeah, I don't think so. I guess we should maybe take a look at some of the
we
other
can check
effects.
out some other ones.
We got max HP here. We got some weaker.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
curative spell potency.
Yeah, I'm noticing a lot of these items stick to like pretty similar.
Yeah.
Oh wait a minute. What?
The emotional destabilizer.
Emotional destabilizer, intelligence minus 5%, but it makes you attack stronger. I guess that is destable.
Yes.
That's true. And on the other hand, you have the love potion, which increases it. So I'm noticing that as we go down the list, okay, here we go. Now we're starting to get some different things. As we go into different types, it seems like there's sort of trends, different types of items, like bombs. Since a lot of bombs have status effects, it seems like status effects are what they're good for adding to weapons.
Yeah, that's correct.
And then like elixirs were giving me cure potions. So it's almost a little bit self-explanatory, kind of. Like if you have an item, you can kind of figure out where you'll use it on what characters.
Yeah,
and
I think
whatnot.
that's right. So maybe for Miki, you would try and use those restorative items, but if you're enhancing a weapon for Fidel or for Victor, you would either merge it with another weapon or maybe one of these bombs to add on one of those extra effects.
Yeah, she's a healer. I like adding MP absorption.
Yeah, that
but I don't know that I can't turn away from just such an OP item. It's just I can't get anything extra if we add to that.
I agree on this one. I really think that the Numinous Tincture
There it
is our best bet. And as I said, we can add other things in to try and get the intelligence up on there even higher.
Yeah, so it's just the factors I can only have +4 on. I could still increase the stats up top, which
Exactly.
is like I see attack, defense, intelligence, mentality, and then
Even the resists.
yeah, and then I was just gonna ask if those are elemental resistances
Yes.
or if those are elemental damage. All right,
That is resists.
so we just augment it.
Yep.
And
now we have the 3 new factors and the additional stats. And then if we wanted to, we could select another material.
oh, and you can even add the same material again if I just wanted the increased defense or something like
Yeah,
that.
so say something gave you plus 50 attack and you had 3 of them. Well, there you go, 150.
Well, I'm noticing that a lot of these items at the bottom, these look like they're like kind of raw materials. I'm going to assume these are just weaker in general, maybe better
Yes.
for just adding like a few stats here and there.
Either good for adding stats or using the item creation system to make an item that might be more suited towards augmentation.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, like this carbon fiber is.
So for Smithery, maybe you would make a sword out of a couple of these things and then add that onto your current weapon, and that would give you attack or something else.
All right, cool.
Question from chat.
Yes.
Oh snap! It's Geo. Snap, it's Geo. He's asking, will you find better items during creation, or finding them in the environment, or buying them from shops?
Well, from shops, you'll only find your most common items, which really get you started on the item creation system. Once you get further into the game, you're really gonna want to level up those gathering, and then the enemy drop rate items, because most of the things that you need for the better items will come from the field.
Got it.
So there is a pretty good balance. You can get what you need to get started, but if you're going to want to make the best items, you're really going to have to put in the effort to find the enemies that drop those items or harvest them from the points.
Okay.
All right, well, cool. I mean, I think unless there's something else you want to cover here, I think I've seen what I need to see.
No, I
out
think
of
that's
this.
the basics of it.
Alrighty then.
Pretty
Cool.
in-depth, I would say.
Yeah.
I'd say so. I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks for going through that. So let's take a little break. Let's get into some of the characters that we haven't seen yet. So just based on everything you've seen from the past trailers, I know you've watched the past Starlogs, the battle trailer, things like that. Just everything, based on everything you've seen so far, who looks interesting to you in terms of characters?
Well, in Final Fantasy XIV, I play Ninja right now, and I've also been playing Monk a little bit. So Anne seemed up my alley. I always like punching characters. I like 2 very distinct characters. I like people that punch a lot, and I like people with ranged attacks.
Yeah.
So I play in most single-player games, one or the other. So since I also used to play Bard in Final Fantasy, of course, that
Makes
means
sense.
Emerson is kind of up my alley as well.
Yeah.
Crossbow, a lot of ranged attacks. I like to stay safe. I like to let everyone else be in danger. I like to stay safe.
Yeah. Far the safety of distance, right?
Absolutely.
Emerson's totally that guy. But you came on the right day at the right time. Let's play some new Spotlight trailers for Anne and Emerson.
Perfect.
Allow me. We're not out to do you any harm. My name is Anne, and his is Emerson.
And you decided that you would help us?
Think nothing of it.
We won't let you down.
You've gotten better at making the right decision, I see.
I still don't fully comprehend why. But somehow, I knew that was the only choice I could make. This is by far the most difficult mission I've had to undertake. Just how many miracles do we need here? I will take you down! I won't make that mistake again. Stay strong and persevere.
I'm Emerson. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Anne.
We'll do what we can to ensure victory as well.
All right, then. Follow me.
Get ready. We got company.
Don't you think getting involved is unethical?
It's not like we can back out now.
Ugh. You're enjoying this, aren't you?
How could you tell? You're good at this. Time to shake these enemies, people. Stand back and let the adults do their job. Energy first! Sometimes the rules are worth breaking.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, definitely Anne and Emerson.
Yeah, definitely Anne and Emerson. You saw a bunch of Anne punching things. She likes to punch things. She's pretty much a badass. But yeah, so the way Anne and Emerson come into play, they're a little bit of a mystery, obviously. You can hear them. You heard some of it in the trailers of them like conversing in the background about what their agenda is and things like that. So they join Fidel and his crew under like mysterious circumstances, but Fidel is in that mode where he's just like in dire need of help at the point when they join. So he welcomes them in, and that's how they join.
That's how they join, but
Yeah.
like, why? Like, so obviously they come in together. That's
Yeah.
the important thing. So there's obviously going to be a dynamic there.
Mm-hmm.
But like, why? They just like, oh, you need help. There's nice
I can't tell you
people.
why. That'd be diving into spoiler territory.
little bit.
But I can just tell you that they're on the side of good, and they want to help Aurelia. Right.
Okay.
The whole point of the story is to protect Aurelia from these outside mysterious forces that are out to get her for her power. Right. So they come at a like opportune time to help Fidel and his crew fend off enemy forces.
Okay, fair enough. I can understand not spoiling it.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a little bit of their characters right there.
Yeah.
But I want to know a little bit more about them.
Yeah.
As individuals. So let's start with Emerson. Let's start with the older guy first.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a little bit older. He's 41, as you saw in the
Yeah.
beginning of the trailer.
He doesn't look 41. He's looking good for 41.
He does. Like his hair's not graying out. It's like nice and green and lush, right? So he's a little bit older. But with age comes more confidence, more awareness, things like that. He's a charming person, and he charms his way through a lot of, and he charms and talks his way through a lot of situations, that's pretty much him. And he also appreciates women and drinking. Obviously, there's always one character in these games that does that.
With great age comes great appreciation.
Yes,
I guess.
exactly.
That's the right way to put it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And then we have Anne, of course.
Yeah.
Want to know a little bit more about her?
Yeah, Anne is incredibly smart. As you saw, she's also a very talented fighter who likes to punch things. Her and Emerson sometimes like butt heads over, what the right thing to do is, as you saw in her trailer. So you can kind of extrapolate that they're trying to do good, that they're good people, even though they butt heads on what the right thing to do is. You can tell that they're good people, right? And just as a side note, Anne is actually my favorite character. I think I've mentioned it. People are sick of me talking about Anne so much, but I just gotta say it. She's just pretty much a badass.
So what's your favorite thing? The fact that she's smart, she's a talented fighter, or that she loves cats?
I'm actually allergic to cats, so so that part I can live without, but everything else is good.
All right, perfect. Well, I mean, I think Anne's going to take it for me as a favorite. Just looking at the gameplay, just listening to her interactions, I think that she's going to be my winner for that one.
Yeah.
Well, I am more of an Emerson kind of guy, but that is beside the point.
Yeah.
I think it's a good opportunity for you to be able to actually try out both of these characters.
Hey,
Let's do
that's
it.
what I
And
wanna
at the
do.
same time, we can introduce the side quest system, which is another big part.
Wait, before we do anything,
Yes.
there's one thing I need to know. How do I emote?
Emotes. Well, we have maxed out the emotes, so you can do whatever emote you
Yes.
want by holding down the R2 button and
a lot of
picking
emotes.
from any of these.
Let's go through set. Hold head in distress. Okay. Oh no!
Look at that
no.
acting.
They all came by and started
I'm
consoling
like, oh,
me,
what's
too.
wrong, Fidel?
All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Explain something. All right, explain something to me. That's I'm
Extreme explaining
yeah.
with Fidel.
Yeah.
pound the ground. Oh, you took everything. Damn dirty apes.
And you can actually do these during the cutscenes. So maybe if you're playing through and there's a point that really you just
You can act
you
along
really
with it.
connect with it, you can use
I
these
don't want to
emotes
hear
to show
this
everyone.
right now. Oh man! All right, so I have a feeling we'll be here all day if I try to go through all the emotes.
Let's exit the inn.
Okay.
So for side quests, the main way to get side quests is in any of the major cities. There's going to be bulletin boards, and each of those bulletin boards has their own quests from different people.
Bulletin boards.
Bulletin boards.
What about Welch?
Welch. This man knows about Welch, who is a very great character. And
She was in the trailer.
Yes, and she offers some of the side quests for
Yeah.
crafting and also synthesis and item augmentation. Unfortunately, we have already unlocked those for the purposes of this demo, and you will not be able to meet Welch in person.
But they will.
Worry not.
You will.
June 28th,
Okay.
you can see
She
Welch.
is in the game, yes.
Okay, good.
But talking about Welch really quick. Let's introduce her a little bit. She is the hub for the side crafting quests, as Adam mentioned. So for people who don't know, people who might be new to the game, Welch is actually a constant character in most of the Star Oceans. She's the girl with the staff with the big pointing finger at the end. So it's a pretty cool staff. She's like Adam mentioned, she does the crafting quest, and you do meet her pretty early on. So you'll be doing those throughout the adventure, throughout the game. She's in this game pretty much. You will not. There's no lack of Welch Vineyard in this Star Ocean.
There's no lack of Welch.
Yes.
And
I
all
like
of
that.
the cutscenes that she is in are very funny. At least I think
Yeah.
so.
Good,
So
good,
please
good.
look forward to Welch and all of the crafting quests.
Please look forward to it.
But for now, let's look at the bulletin board quests. We are in Trekur right now, and if we open up here, we can see that there's numerous quests. But I think for this demo, we should pick Subjugation Directive Sandra.
That's a mouthful for
Yes.
a quest to pick.
But it's a great quest, and as
Okay.
you can see, you have a rank for the difficulty of the quests. It already tells you the rewards
It's a
that
lot
the
of
person
stars.
Remember
is-
when I said I hadn't played much Star Ocean before, and yet I see 7 stars.
I
right
don't
there.
think 7 stars is too much for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are an experienced gamer. We'll get through this.
It goes up to 10. 10, right?
Yes, up to
So
10.
7 out of 10.
You
I think
know,
you got
that's only
this.
70%.
Yeah.
You'll be
Yeah.
fine.
That's like a
You'll
C.
be fine.
That's a
That's a C minus.
The Central Razulian Army hereby notifies all persons of valor that Sandra the Majestic has been sighted in the Trekurian dunes. Vanquish her with utmost haste.
I think we need to vanquish her with utmost haste.
That's Sandra.
I agree.
She's going down.
Sandra's going down.
All right, so we have accepted our quest, and actually, as you can see, there is no guidance. So we know that she's in the Trekurian dunes, but that's it. So we'll have to go there ourselves and look for her and vanquish her.
All right.
So while you're
Am I going the right way?
You are going
Yeah,
the right
you are.
way.
So while you're walking, while you're doing that, everyone in chat, ask your questions about the side questing system or anything that you just saw, and we'll try to get them answered.
Oh, good, I can sprint. So I want to ask you, so I'm confirming with X. Did you set
Yes.
that up for me?
I did set that up for you, actually.
Can you do confirm with circle?
Yes, I am more of a circle guy.
Okay.
But you can switch between the circle X confirm
Okay.
for both battle and for the menus.
See, that's good because sometimes I like to do it different. I always have a hard time determining which way I want the camera to go to. If I want to do inverted or normal, like, I don't know. I'm different in every game.
That is also an option. Everything is in the config menu. It's very customizable.
All right.
So everyone should be able to configure the game just how they want. So we'll get into battle. You are playing as Fidel right now, but with the directional pads left and right, you can switch between any of the characters instantly.
There we go. I think I did not stand a chance.
So let's head through.
I mean, I mean, so there's no like, I'm not gonna go someplace and she's gonna be there. I have to just look around, right?
Yes, there's no compass indicator on your map. You are gonna have to do it all yourself. But worry not. I will help you. I will guide you.
Thank you. Alright. Got a few different attacks here. See, immediately to Emerson. I just like to play it safe. He's got a lot of...
It's a good choice.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good attacks over here. I want to try all of the different characters, though. Like, as much as I would love to just play Ann and Emerson, like...
You definitely should, though, because Victor actually has some pretty good moves. And the casters are fun to play, too. They're also ranged, so
yeah,
similar
that's
to
true.
Emerson.
Question from chat. Justin Huryu is asking, are some of the side quests multi-tier?
Multi-tier is in branching?
Yeah.
Yes, they do, actually. So quests unlock as you progress through the game, and then also as you complete other quests. So to start, you might only have a couple of quests, but as you complete those, new ones will be unlocked. And then as you progress through the story, additional quests will be unlocked.
Cool.
All right.
So you can't finish all the side quests right when you get to the bulletin board.
Yeah.
It kind of unlocks as the story progresses.
That makes sense.
I'm going to be at that bulletin board forever. How long did it take you to get this bulletin board? Because I noticed this has like, what, a 15-hour playtime, this save file or something?
Yes, 15 hours, and this isn't really even scratching the surface. There's probably not even that many quests to be unlocked. I unlocked them through special means, but...
Your special
I won't
Adam
ask.
means.
But there's a plethora of quests for each of the areas, so this is just one of 3 different areas.
This is just Traycor.
Yes,
right?
this is the Traycor area.
Speaking of Traycor, though, while they're in the middle of making their way to Sandra the Majestic to vanquish her, let's take a look at Traycor. And for that, we have a little piece of content for you to watch.
We are back, and we have found Sandra.
Yeah, we went to that trailer pretty much as I was. Oh, there she
Perfect.
is.
Well, she's been chilling, waiting for
Yeah.
us. So let's see what you can do.
Yeah.
All right, I got this. Preemptive attack. All right, I'm gonna start over here. This was the last character I was checking out before we went off, and I just wanted to. Wait, no, that's not. There it is. That's the one.
we got Miki here. The only advice I have is when Miki is being controlled by you, no one is going to be healing your guys. So you need to take charge of that or let her let her do her thing.
I'm gonna let her do her thing.
I believe on the last Starlog, I let somebody die when I was playing because I was not healing.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
not gonna take any chances because she will absolutely die if it's up to me.
I think the other thing we should show everyone is the reserve rush. We have a full
Yeah.
reserve rush stage. Well, 3 out of 5, which is pretty good.
Who should we
Okay.
watch?
And
Let's
with
try and.
R2 and X.
R2
you
and
will
X?
Your and
use the
first?
reserve rush or whoever you have controlled. So
Boom.
Oh yeah, we saw this at the
Yeah.
end of each of their trailers. Oh, pfft.
Wow. She knocks him up in the
Um,
air. I mean,
that was like half of. All right, that was.
Sandra is no more.
wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anne.
Yeah,
And
Sandra.
that is the
Vanquished.
power of the reserve rush.
Yeah, 7 stars
Just
ain't nothing.
Erased from Trey Korean history.
And I'm gonna celebrate that battle by harvesting a plant or by excavating a
coal.
darkness gem.
All you
And
get is
coal.
coal for Christmas.
Coal and a darkness gem. That's pretty different. So that was one quest. How many of those quests can I hold at once? Like how often? do I have to-
You can have as many quests as are available. So
Okay.
if you go to each of the towns and pick up all the quests from the bulletin board, you're good to go. And you can reference them all in your main menu. There's a section to see the quests. If you go into resources and then
okay.
quests, so you can see the ones that I've already completed, the ones that is completed, and then ones that have not been completed.
Okay, cool. And I just go back to the bulletin board to hand those in?
Yep, once you've completed the objective, go back to the bulletin board and you get the reward that was posted.
I also like that they have an encyclopedia and a glossary here in
Yeah.
case you don't know anything.
There's a lot of actually really good information in there, both about the story, about the Star Ocean universe, and then just general things about enemies, so you can look at weaknesses and stuff like that.
All right, cool.
Yep.
All right, well, they don't need to watch us run all the way back to town.
No,
at
I
the
don't-
end of
I
the
don't think that
quest,
would
do
be-
they?
So yeah, let's. I mean, so the gameplay trailer mentioned a few things. I think we just got through the side quests. Let's talk about the last thing that it showed, which was the private actions.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to know more about that because I have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
Well, private actions are actually not new to the Star Ocean series. I don't know if you've seen them in the other games you've played through, but they are basically an additional sort of event system that is in the Star Ocean series where you can go into town and kind of have your group disperse, and
Okay.
then during that time go up to different people and talk to them and have kind of more private conversations.
Oh, okay.
Kind of as like a sub thing to be able to learn more about the story, learn more about the character, and
Yeah.
kind of increase relationships between the characters.
Okay.
So it's a really good way to get immersed into the story and to the characters.
Yeah, that's one thing. I have 4 things I look for in an RPG, and that is the characters, the story, the world, and the gameplay. So it sounds like it covers 3 of the 4.
Yeah,
So that's pretty important to me.
quite good. And we can actually check some out right here. We have a couple
cool.
of private actions lined up for you guys.
All right, real quick before we do that, though.
A couple more emotes.
I'm going to sit in a chair.
Oh wow.
And it's, wow, he's
Wow.
got really good balance.
Yeah. That
Those
would
leg
actually
muscles.
take some, yeah.
Yeah,
He did not
that's-
skip leg day, you guys.
No, friends don't let friends skip leg day.
Nope.
So
Okay.
private actions occur in most of the towns within the game, and as you'll see, you may have actually seen it in Treycour, but there's a little circle with a whistle in it.
Oh, that's
which
what that
basically
was.
Yeah.
designates that there are private actions available for this visit to town, and just by entering it, you can tell your group to split up and go do their own thing.
All right.
And so now we kind of shift into private action mode, and in the bottom of the screen, it'll tell you how many private actions are available. So we have 2 to look at.
Okay, cool.
And on the map, you can see the little, what are those called? Speech bubbles? That will mark where the actual private action takes place.
All right, and then we just go here and listen to like the conversation, get an
Yeah.
idea of what's going on.
This is a little bit more of a, I'd say, serious conversation, or something just to give you a little bit more knowledge about the world, what the corrupt are,
Yeah.
which are some of the enemies you'll fight in game.
I think what's really cool about this is because I think in the main story sometimes you don't really see characters interact as much. Like Miki and Anne, they don't really like talk to each other as much. And like in these private actions, it's good to see them hanging out and actually discussing things like they would in actual, real life.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different combinations. You'll see all the characters either in smaller groups or just 2 of them having different conversations. So
Yeah.
there's a lot to see. And if we go behind us, we can actually see a more comical private action between, I believe, Emerson and Victor. You can see how much Emerson loves alcohol.
There's another way for me to see that, and it's back at the end.
Yes.
Fruit wine, fermented liquors, and any other type you could ever want.
One thing I've learned about Starlog is that you get hungry and thirsty both
Yep.
at the same time. There's a lot of fine dining.
Unfortunately, that grilled fish is not going to be here for us.
I wish I could do that. I wish I could just, we had a button right here.
Make some grilled fish.
Make some grilled fish right here.
Whenever we want it, right on the star log.
Okay, so I actually did both of them. So
Yes.
to end it, I saw there was a whistle back here again.
Yes, and that would be where you go to bring everyone back together. And if you so choose, you don't actually even have to do the private actions. You could go to one and then decide you don't really care what they're saying, so I'm just going to end it now. And that's completely fine. So it's completely up to you how you want to use the private action system, but definitely an awesome way to get more into the story, learn more about the characters in the world.
Cool.
And now Fidel is lying on the ground.
He's gonna chill.
He is tired after all of those private actions.
Yeah, he has a lot of conversation to listen
So
to.
much
right there.
gameplay. He's just tired.
He didn't get much.
rest.
He didn't get much rest though.
Yeah.
And I
So
think-
on that note, well, sorry, what were you gonna say?
Just one more thing.
Sure.
The private actions actually do have a greater effect on the game rather than just listening to the story.
Oh,
Yeah.
do they?
It does change the relationship levels between characters, which can unlock new private actions and as well as change which ending you get at the end of the game. There's multiple endings.
All right.
Yes.
Yep.
So you're going to actually
matters
have to
more.
want to pay attention to the private actions and see who's interacting. And some of the private actions have choices. So they'll ask you a question. You could offend them with your answer.
Yeah.
Or you could actually increase your relationship by choosing
Yeah.
a good answer.
Yeah.
So lots to do.
Lots to do,
it'll
lots
be
of-
Playthroughs to get all of the endings.
many a moral dilemma I've had before, and that I'm going to have soon.
Anyways, you were saying?
Yeah, just on that note, thank you for showing us private actions. I think it's time to just turn to the chats and kind of go through some of the questions that you guys asked. I have a list here from some of the audience. Let's just start off with ask your questions right now, and we'll keep going as we progress through these answers. Korbernik asks, is augmentation limited to weapons, or can we augment the rest of our gear, armor, and accessories, those things?
Augments work for all of your gear, so you can change your armor, your weapons, and both accessories. So there's 2 accessories per character, and you can kind of fine-tune them however you want.
Cool.
Okay. Albedo Palazzo is asking, can you change character behavior? For example, will they prioritize healing over attacking and vice versa?
That would be through the role system. And we went
Yeah.
through the roles a little bit in the previous Starlog, but basically through that you can change the AI of the character slightly. Miki
Yeah.
will always serve as your healer, but you can kind of fine-tune it to make her either stay back a little bit more, not use attacks and heal only, or you could make her use more offensive spells. So there is a lot of different things you can do with the role system, but that's how you would do it.
Yeah, so I think the role system is one of the big things too. Whoever you're not controlling, the battle role system tells the whole rest of the group what they should be doing based on how you customize them, right? So you can do that. Yes.
You must have set them up pretty well before I fought Sandra right there.
I have played through many a times, and I've come with an ideal combination for myself, at least. I'm glad it worked for you as well.
It definitely worked for me.
Okay. One more is Bazdori is asking, is there romancing in the game? This is very important to him.
Waifu or no?
No waifu? Yes.
There
waifu?
are some private action scenes that may be a little bit, how would you say?
Romantic?
Romantic, yes. And
Okay.
there are some that are just more sort of a friendship level sort of
Yeah.
thing. But
And there's more comedic ones like Emerson.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
through the main story, you'd see the bonds between everyone join together. I don't want to spoil anything, so
Yeah. Okay.
there is relationships, and they are important.
Got it. Let's see. Approximately how many towns, kingdoms, and cities are there in the game? Asks SO5 Fidel Camus. I like your name.
It's a good question.
Very good.
You are tops in my book.
Well, so we saw 2 different areas, or 2 different countries within the game. So for the private actions, we saw the Kingdom of Rizulia, and then we were in the Kingdom of Trekur for the desert area when we killed Sandra. And there's one more, which is the Kingdom of Langdok, which is where Fiore is from.
Yeah.
We saw Fiore in the previous Starlog. So those are the 3 main kingdoms within there, but there are smaller cities and towns within those 3 kingdoms that you will visit as well.
Okay. Cool. Let's take one more question. Let me see here. Can you? Sorry, one more. So this is based. This is asking towards the synthesis portion of the game. Kerosene Blast is asking, with the level of randomness that they showed, why would they use that system? What can they benefit from the synthesis system?
That's a good question. Synthesis does produce some results that you cannot get through the normal item creation system, which I guess is the benefit.
Yeah.
I can't attest to why they would use a random system rather than some other system. I guess it's just kind of even in previous Star Ocean, some of the crafting systems were random like that. So
look at the draw.
They may be trying to
gotta have that RNG
kick
sometimes.
it old school,
Yeah.
stay true to the Star Ocean
Get you
series.
grinding.
And have that, yes. And also
Yeah.
keep you killing enemies over and over again.
Cool. So I think that's it. So that's about to just going to do it for us for Starlog 3. I just want to thank Mr. Happy for joining us. Thank you for your expert knowledge on comparing the game to some MMO elements from your experience with MMOs, and thanks to Adam for his expert knowledge on Star Ocean,
My
of course. Do you guys have any closing messages for everybody?
You can go first.
I just want to say thank you for having me on Starlog number 3. It's a pleasure to be back, and it was great to be with Mr. Happy, have somebody who wanted to play with me. Last time I was all by myself. But
we were there.
You got a lot done at the very least.
anyways, it was a great time, and I hope to be back for Starlog number 4.
Yes, Starlog number 4. Before we get to your closing
No problem. Go for it.
message. Starlog number 4, the final Starlog is coming to an end, you guys. On the 4th one, we can announce that Starlog 4 is going to be during E3, and it's going to be on June 14th at 5, and it's going to be the last one. And it kind of makes me sad a little bit. It's the last one before
sad.
Star Ocean comes out. But before that, I mean, that's 2 weeks away from launch.
Yeah.
There you go.
Going out with a bang at
Yeah.
E3.
You guys are going to be able to experience everything we've been showing you from all these Starlogs finally, right? So that's going to be it. Closing message?
I just want to say thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure. I'm looking forward to playing a Star Ocean game from start to finish.
This one.
Yeah, this
Yes.
one. No.
This
I'm
is the one to do it.
This is
yeah,
the one.
no, I'm gonna go back and play the other ones first somehow in the next
Play 1 through
month.
4.
Yeah, I'll play
Yes.
1 through 4 in the next month.
You got
no
a month.
problem.
I'll keep you on check.
Oh, please don't. I'm gonna be so pressured if you have to do that. And it was great. I enjoyed what I played. I'm looking forward to picking it up on June 28th.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you guys. I want to thank everyone for watching. That's it for Starlog 3. Stay tuned for the next one. Thanks, guys.
See you guys later.
See ya.